Captain, it is pleasant to see you.
opening fire. I can no longer detect any enemies. I am engaging the enemy. I am taking damage. Attempting to evade my sensors. I am initiating a search pattern.
Never wise to be in my way.
Engaging a hostile target. Damage registered.
Time to tango.
I have hostiles in range. Damage. All systems.
Let's do this! Never mess with the code. Ringing! Wanna mess with me and my friend? Yeah, pay me enough for this! Grizzly, but part of the job. Great. The Crimson Fleet. Need I say more? tell from the stink and just everything. Damn Crimson Fleet's around.
Oh, yeah. Uncertainty to the universe at all. This is kind of turned into suggestions. Right?
No exaggerations this time.
Unicorn. Not kidding.
What? The mythical mare with the magic horn thing? Come on. Was King Arthur a...
Okay, it was more of an extreme file of vague shape. My point still stands. You need an open mind out there. You go into the far reaches of space too tightly wound, the brain is just gonna pop like a soda can. Holy shit. You actually found me.
Now, why did I get a feeling this is what we'd find? It's good to see you, Barrett.
Well, this is turning into a regular Constellation party, isn't it? I should have brought drinks. Well, you didn't need to worry too much. Matsura the Grim here is actually a wonderful host.
No reason captivity should be unpleasant.
See, that's what I mean, Matsura. Real considerate.
I have enjoyed our time together, Barrett. But I can't just let you go with nothing to show for it. Is Constellation willing to pay ransom in exchange for this man's freedom? You want me to end all this with nothing to show for it? He has been more entertaining than most hostages. Was considering. Very innocent good friends, it seems. Very well. You're all free to go.
It's been a real pleasure, Matsura. Really. And good luck out there with all the, you know, hurting people and taking their money.
Matsura's in charge. You're lucky the boss is so generous.
Got nothing to say to you. Sorry, I plain forgot what I wanted to talk with you about. That girl. If Cora leaves her tools out one more time... I mean, I love her more than life itself, but I can only say the same damn thing so many times. That's Cora to a T. I mean, this is between me and you, but Cora wasn't exactly planned. I don't know if I mentioned, but I served a spell in the Freestar Rangers. Had a partner, Lillian Hartz. Well, we were like fire and ice, but, well, it wasn't all bad. It wasn't always like it is now. Hell, when Cora was born, I was completely out of my depth. For the first few months, I kept thinking, what a colossal mistake I made. Me, a father. But one late night, early morning, whatever, little Cora gave me my first smile. And I knew I'd do anything for that girl. Yeah, big old mean Sam Cole loves his daughter. Alert SSNN. You said Cora's great, and I think so too. But I see so much of myself in her. I've done things I'm not proud of. Said things even worse. I try to be better for Cora, but... is she gonna fall into the same traps? Well, ain't that a drop of sunshine? I know it seems crazy, towing her across the stars, but I'm not exactly swimming with options here. Her mother... like I said, another story, another time. And what, have her raised by Jacob, my dad? I'd sooner ship her off to Vladimir. You think? Well, she does say the damnedest things. And if she just learned to pick up after herself, she just might live until she's 13. Fleet, and I bet not a single one has a...
Roger.
How can I be of service, Captain?
Ah, love the smell of getting back into the harness.
Have any new books for me?
Well, I can't say I feel too bad about you killing someone who kidnapped me and probably murdered a lot of people.
You are the greatest. No. Better than the greatest. Somehow you...
All thrusters firing.
on the ships. But our grav drive's cracked and leaking helium-3. The ship can't jump right now.
What's helium-3?
Helium-3 is a stable isotope of helium that is used as fuel for grav drives, Tashi.
What's a grav drive?
You know what a grav drive is. Or you should. You wrote a paper on it.
I'm not sure Billy does know what a grav drive is.
Class, please talk quietly amongst yourselves. This is important. Do you have any extra ship parts? Let me see.
Mrs. Whitmore, who are you talking to?
Is it a pirate? Pirates? There are pirates? What? No. No pirates. Everyone is safe. Holy smokes! Constellation!
The Explorers? That is so cool!
In space you can encounter all sorts of fascinating people. Now, everyone, settle down. The driver said ship parts should be sufficient for us to repair our ship. Understood. Well, I hope you have a better day than I'm having.
Contraband on board. Halt and prepare to be boarded. All illegal and stolen goods will be confiscated. I've got special orders. You're coming with me. Stand down and prepare for immediate transport to our vessel. Smart decision. Stand by to be boarded and transferred.
Being here on the Vigilance, I feel literally queasy.
I'm telling you, the commander's got plans for this loser. Why else would he be going through all this trouble? I still don't understand why he trusts a criminal. Seems like too much of a risk. Stop worrying and keep an eye on our guest. I'll be right back. You just sit tight. The commander wants to have a little chat. The prisoner's ready, sir. I hope you're comfortable. We have a lot to discuss. Not this time. So, let me see what we're working with here. It says here you spent some time as a diplomat. That isn't quite what we do around here, but still, having a way with words might prove useful. I also see that you mined on Vectera, and now you're with Constellation. You've certainly been quite busy. Oh, and look at that. Right at the bottom of this list is the criminal incident that landed you in my crosshairs. Good. You'll find that I'm a stickler for details, and I'd hate to discover that your file is incomplete. Now that we have that out of the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Commander Kibwe Ikande, and I'm in charge of this operation for UC SysDev. Are you familiar with what we do? Actually, that's something new we're trying. I figured we needed to branch out a bit, broaden our horizons. UC SysDev is a division of the UC Navy. Well, they handle the big picture stuff. We deal with a very particular problem. The Crimson Fleet. That convict is where you enter the picture. Smart decision. We've been prodding at the Crimson Fleet for years, trying to take them down one ship at a time. But we barely scratched the surface. If we can get someone on the inside, we have a shot at finding a loose thread we can pull to bring it all down. It doesn't matter how I feel. I'm simply doing what's best for the security of the United Colonies. Look, I'm going to make this simple. Agree to work for UC SysDev, and together we take down the Crimson Fleet. Refuse, and I tell these guys to throw you into the nearest lockup. Might even tack on an extra few hundred credits to your fine. Well, first of all, we'll forget about the infraction that landed you on the Vigilance. Wipe the slate clean. Better still, depending on how well you do your job, we'll even kick in a few extra credits to offset any cost that the operation will incur. Or you can throw all that away and end up back in jail with a hefty fine attached. I'm not coercing you into doing anything. I'm simply giving you a chance to redeem yourself. So, what do you say? You going to work with me, or should I find someone else? Smart choice. I'm going to have one of my men escort you to the operations center. I strongly suggest that you don't give him any trouble. And don't bother trying to leave the ship. I think you'll find all access to the docking area is fully restricted.
All right, let's go. I'm not authorized to answer your questions.
It's good to be out and about. Well, I guess we're done.
So, you took the op instead of serving the time. Gonna be the commander's new role, huh? Going in all alone, infiltrating a bunch of pirates.
Go on. I would believe the commander would.
Letting the air out of their suit.
Out.
Could you imagine a worse way to go? I know I couldn't. But I wouldn't worry about it. As soon as the commander handpicked you, I'm guessing you can hold your breath for a long time,
Yes?
Ikande's on level 2. Try not to touch anything until he actually clears you.
Pardon.
This is as far as I go. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Ikande should be waiting for you.
Okay, hello. Excuse me.
Yes? What?
Sometimes we'll take the long-range fighters out for grav jump and patrol high-traffic orbitals for fleet.
Hey.
Ah, there you are. Excellent. Now that we've established your level of cooperation with us, I want to introduce you to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance, SysDef's nerve center dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet. Whether this ship is impressive or not, you're the key element that we've been lacking. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse. Good. I have just the right place for you to start. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bowden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, so you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention. That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know. Let's just say my superiors need proof that engaging the Crimson Fleet is a larger priority than they're willing to admit. If we shove enough concrete evidence under their noses, they'll have no choice but to allocate the resources that I've requested. At the same time, we can use the evidence to arrest members of the Crimson Fleet, weakening them enough to strike a fatal blow. Eager to get going? Good. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down. Then you better learn to swim, because you're diving right into the deep end on this one. I've studied your profile. I know you can do this. I'm not about to throw away someone's life on a whim or a prayer. Just use your best judgment, trust your instincts, and watch your back. I wouldn't expect any less. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDef, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control. The Crimson Fleet doesn't follow the rules. They only abide by one thing: money. All of their morals and social graces fall by the wayside in pursuit of their greed. At first glance, this can appear quite enticing, so I'm warning you not to get lured into their trap. Think you can handle that? That's what I wanted to hear. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck. That's easy to answer. You don't. We'll be monitoring your activities from the Vigilance, and attempting to keep it within your vicinity. When you feel you've gathered enough evidence, and at the completion of your assignments, head back here for a debrief. Beyond that, you're completely on your own. For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines. While you're running with the Crimson Fleet, you're undoubtedly going to be faced with some morally gray decisions. It's going to be difficult for you to weigh the consequences of pulling the trigger while maintaining your cover. Do what you have to do, but remember why you're out there in the first place. That's why I expect you to constantly seek alternative means to overcome your obstacles, rather than blowing holes in them. Look, I can see that you're struggling with this, so let me simplify this for you. If there's a route to your goal which doesn't involve killing innocent people, I'm urging you to follow that path. Use your instincts. I'm certain you'll do the right thing. All we know is that she's been with the Trade Authority for years, which means she's been privy to some seriously shady deals. She's shrewd and she's diligent. The only reason we were able to connect her with the Crimson Fleet at all was thanks to an informant. I'm afraid she's the best lead we've got. Dismissed.
Hello. Yes?
Hey. Okay, hello.
Excuse me.
I've got nothing to say to you, convict.
My family's all in the UC Navy. Being SysDef, I got bragging rights. Yes. What?
Go on. I wouldn't leave the commander waiting.
Pardon. Howdy.
All right, we don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up. While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood? Rationalize it however you like, but that evidence is critical to the success of Commander Akande's operation. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig. For the sake of the settled systems, I hope you're right. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard. That's all we're asking. Oh, before you go, there's one more thing. Commander Akande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts. Commander Akande came up with the idea. He was concerned you might not help us simply because it was the right thing to do. All right, We've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo hold. We're also providing you with a sample you can use to tease the goods. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Sidonia. Make contact with Saoirse Bowden. And with any luck, she'll point you to the Crimson Fleet. That should do it. You're dismissed. Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job.
We should team up for the next mission.
Nah, I don't think so.
Don't get me wrong. I appreciate that you care. It's just that I don't feel like now's an appropriate time to be discussing these things. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay? Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake. We'll be here if you need us.
Yes, what?
I belong.
Hi.
That's a clean break. Ready to go.
Has anyone ever told you you're the greatest explorer in the settled systems? Well, they should.
All right, let's cycle that airlock and get aboard. We've detached. Let's get out of here.
This is UC Security. Prepare to be scanned for contraband. And we're done. Enjoy Sidonia.
I'd hate to live my whole life in a bubble. We still haven't really tamed one.
The miners pretty much run the lower levels here.
I hope I'm not bothering.
Not many places older than Aquila. This old stories,
Hello there.
old planet.